everybody. As I'm here, your transformation coach and founder of Heal the Heart. I empower you to achieve mental and emotional clarity, find your purpose, and take actions toward living a more fulfilled and happier life. We are here for another video from Bits of Inspiration series, where women come to share their experiences and their stories with the hope that they can inspire and empower others. Today we are joined by Erin Acquaviva, who is married, mother of two, and she is a teacher and educational coach. She is the CEO of the Evolve Life Center for Learning for Youth Leadership, and also the academic coach for I Lead Online. Welcome.
Thank you
for being here. Erin.
Thank you for having me.
Erin is here to talk about there are points in your life that although you want to keep closing your eyes to your passion and the call that the universe keeps putting on your path, you have to bite the bullet, and regardless how frightening it might look, you have to gather your courage and step into your power and answer that call and follow your passion. So let's hear what she has to say.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And yes, so I think the have to part is it's just going to keep eating at you if you don't actually step into that purpose. And that was what was happening to me. So I have done a series of transformational work. You talk about transformational coach, and I've done my own transformational leadership work. And I started that journey about 3 years ago, 3.5, 4 years ago maybe. And in that journey, I was exploring this passion and purpose of mine and just slowly but surely stepping into it, but not quite jumping in. And it was nagging at me. It was pulling at me. My passion and purpose being working with youth in their emotional intelligence and leadership skills and getting them stepping outside of their comfort zone, coaching them on how to do what I did at, 38 years old, right?
Exactly.
But before they get 38 years old. So I'm passionate about having them be on their journey and know who they are. And so that transformational work coupled with a traumatic event in my life where my husband and I were at the Route 91 Festival in Vegas in October 2017 kind of just spurred me into, you know what? Life is short, and what am I here to do? What is my purpose? And I think many people that were around me in my life at that time saw me just kind of transform into, someone who's gonna just fight to do what I was meant to do, to be what I was meant to be here in this physical form.
Yeah, it seems that for most of us, we keep pushing this call to the side. We keep complaining or claiming that we don't have time. I'll get to it one point. I get to it at some point. For many, it comes the end of the life, and we think about we should have, we could have, I wished. Or some of us are awakened by the traumatic event in our lives. That helps us to reflect back and say, why am I here? Why am I not doing the thing that keeps pulling at my soul? And when you're engaged in it, it's like, I call it feeding your soul, warming your heart. It's like you can actually breathe.
Right.
Even though it might be one of the hardest things that you're doing and the most difficult path, but it is like, there's a sense of joy in it. So tell us about that. How does it feel being engaged in that?
Well, it's so you say the soul pulling you, and my business partner and great friend, also transformational leadership coach. He's been doing this work for 20 years. I kind of partnered up with him, Alex Urbina. We'll have a conversation about the same thing and how or how I get distracted by starting to do the research to build this work or grow this work that we're doing at Evolve Life Center for Learning. And we talk about it being the soul work. Well, of course you're distracted by it because it's the soul that's pulling you to do this work. So I relate to that, and I feel that very much so. And then that itch kept nagging at me, like I'm supposed to. I've loved being a teacher. I am still a facilitator, and I still love that part of me. However, I did take a small break from it to start my business, to work with the youth, because it just wasn't gonna leave me alone. It was the message I needed to receive, and I needed to step into it. And it was scary, and it took my family to be on board. It took a commitment from my husband. You know, I basically said, I need to leave my job to be able to start this. And that's, I think, where I can see where people get, you know, hung up and in a fear place. But I had to just let that go and not be fearful. And luckily today I get to do both. I started this learning center working with children, working on their passions, working on their leadership skills, working with their emotional intelligence and their connection to self and their passion and soul work. And on top of still, I get to work with kids in the school setting, online, in the same way. I just get to do the emotional piece all the way through.
You mentioned something, and I want to clarify on my end that, you know, many of us are fortunate that we are able to answer that call because we have the support system in place. However, there are those who feel it and they have a difficult time and they don't have that support system or the means or resources in order to step into their power. So the point is we all can do that. When you have those resources or you are in a place that you have the support system, it becomes easier because you rely on those who are around you, your tribe. And those who don't have it, they can just take small steps. Because when we have our eyes on the bigger prize, you know, if we think that we should just jump and reach out and get there, it's never going to happen. It is those small steps, and for some it would be even smaller steps toward the goal that they want to reach. So, but just having the courage to take that first step and knowing that they are putting themselves on that path, it kind of relieves some of that pressure that comes from, you know, within and the call.
Absolutely. There's no, and I'd love to piggyback on that too, because there's no one way of choosing your purpose or choosing to step into your purpose. It maybe for some it's building your tribe, building your support system. That's the first step. Maybe the first step is, you know, leaving an abusive relationship. The first step is different for everybody, and there's no one way to do it. Everybody gets to be on the journey that they're on.
Everybody's journey is special to them, and that is the beauty of it.
Absolutely.
And none of us are no two people are the same or alike, and that is why this world is so beautiful, because of the diversity that we bring into this world at every level. So, okay, if you were going to give those who are watching one advice, one thing that that you would recommend for them to look into, what would that be?
To look into? I mean, I would just, the piece that I would say is choose to be courageous. Choose that burning itch inside, whatever it is, whatever step it takes, choose it every day, one day at a time.
Exactly.
I was nervous to be here. I'm, you know, every step of the way I have my that fear that pulls me aside and says, oh, you don't want to do that. And I choose it every day, and I choose to answer the call. And this time it was a call from Azam. Next time it'll be a call from, who knows?
Exactly.
We want to have you come speak in front of all these people. I don't know what it is, but choose that.
Yes.
And that courage every day.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, this whole series came about because I told the fear, thank you, I hear you, but I'm going to go this direction. I'm going to step into my power and be courageous, and to be in front of the camera, to do what might not be perfect, because perfection is a mirage. And as you see, this is very simple. It's not, I don't have any fancy equipment or anything. I just decided I want to do this, and I'm going to do it. Like you are saying, just making that decision and choosing one step at a time, and see where it takes you, because not knowing is amazing.
And it's out of that comfort zone where the growth is happening, and that growth is what I crave. I want to be the next best version of myself every single day of my life. And so I know in order to do that, I have to choose to be courageous. I have to choose
Push the boundaries.
To push my boundaries. I have to choose to be out of my comfort zone. And in that, the reward is the growth.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Erin, for coming.
Thank
I
you
really
for
appreciate
having
your
me.
word of
Thank
wisdom.
You all. Thank you.
And we all have stories, and sharing those stories bring healing to ourselves, and also might offer something to others who might be in the similar situations. So if you have a story or experience you would like to share with the hope that you can empower and inspire others, please give me a call or email me at azamirolian@healtheheart.com. You take care, and love to hear from you. Bye-bye.